Hi, I'm Dennis Snow. This episode of Speaking of Service Excellence addresses a question that I think every business and every employee should ask as part of their decision-making process. The question is, are we trying to make things easier for the customer, or are we trying to make things easier for ourselves? Now, the answer to that question can shape the customer's entire experience and determine whether they feel valued and eager to return, or frustrated and ready to take their business elsewhere. Here's an example of what I mean. I am lucky to be one of those people who can work on an airplane and also sleep like a baby on an airplane. Since I'm an aisle guy, I'll sometimes tell the person sitting next to me, I'm going to fall asleep and it's not going to be pretty. But if you need to get out of the aisle for any reason during the flight, just let me know and I'll be fine. Well, on a flight a while back, I was getting some work done. And I was cranking it out. I was surrounded by files and my computer and a book that I was using and notes. I had my own little workstation going. The flight attendant came by to take my lunch order. I was in first class. Yay. I got my upgrade. But I passed on the lunch because I didn't have any room for a tray because of all the stuff I had around me. But I said I will take one of those little peanut bowls because I can make room for that. Well, as I finished my bowl of peanuts, the flight attendant was delivering meals to the other passengers. And as she delivered the meal to my seatmate, I asked if she would take away my little peanut bowl because I knew at some point I was going to knock it on the floor. And she said with some irritation in her voice, I'll pick those up when I'm done delivering the meals. And she turned around, walked back to the galley empty-handed. Now, while this might have been a little easier for her, a paid employee of the airline, it was more difficult for me, a paying customer of the airline. Contrast that experience with my helpful flight attendant with an experience that I had with a hotel banquet team member. Whenever I do a speech or a workshop, I like to get to the function room about an hour before the guests arrive. That way I can check out the venue, I can check the AV equipment and plan an escape route in case I bomb. I'm also a coffee drinker, so I always grab a cup of coffee as soon as the coffee service is set up, usually just outside of the room. Well, when I arrived at this particular location, the coffee wasn't ready, it wasn't set up. So I went about scoping out the room and working with the AV team to check out the projection and the sound system, etc. After a few minutes, I spotted a banquet team member putting out water pitchers on the tables. And I asked, do you know if the coffee is ready yet? Yes, sir, he said. So I hopped off the platform and started to go out to the setup, and the server immediately stopped me. And he said, hold on, I'll get it for you. How do you take it? I said, I'll take it with a lot of appreciation for your help because you're wonderful. So here you have two similar situations with very different outcomes. In the first story, I simply wanted to get rid of an empty peanut bowl. In the second story, I wanted a cup of coffee. But my flight attendant was focused on making things a little easier for her, the employee. My banquet server was focused on what was easier for me, the customer. So in my mind, this is all about having a service mindset, and it applies to all aspects of customer service, and really, I think to all aspects of life. We can do things the easy way, or we can do things the way we know we should do them. We all have that little voice inside of our heads that tells us what we should do. That nagging voice that says, I know what you want to do, but here's what you should do. And no matter how jaded we might get, that voice is still there. The voice tells us we should get out of bed in the morning and go for a run when we want to hit the snooze alarm. The voice that says we should order a salad when we want to order a cheeseburger. So I guess the question is, why do we often take the easy way? Well, because it's easier, at least in the short run. And the right way is sometimes harder. But we know that in the long run, the right way pays enormous benefits in the form of a better business, better health, and better relationships. And yes, there's no getting around the fact that it sometimes takes discipline to do the right thing. But it is the right thing to do. Whether we're talking about exercise or eating or customer service, self-discipline is at the heart of doing the right thing. We almost always know what we should do. We just need to do it. So, in the next customer interaction that you have, ask yourself this question. Am I making things easier for myself, or am I making things easier for the customer? And that little voice in your head will always point you in the right direction. I hope that you found the ideas in this video to be beneficial. If so, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like more information about how Snow & Associates can help your organization, or if you'd simply like access to additional customer service resources, please visit our website, www.snowassociates.com. Thanks so much for watching.